Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have officially ended at the ending of Dramageddon 1. We have now completed both Dramageddons after this, which thank you so much for being here for the ride. Okay, the reason we're going to be ending with this video is because it was really the bombshell video. It was Gabriel Zamora's My Truth video. It is basically like the most viewed out of all of them. And Gabriel doesn't get that many views to start with, so I mean, it was kind of revolutionary in general for this video to get so many views. But also, Gabriel was really the one that started Dramageddon 1 with the, you know, the tweet with that one, right? So Gabriel was really kind of the one to end it as well, because he did this final video where he called everyone out, and something that I'm very excited for is I've never seen this video. I have never seen this video. It is 40 minutes, and it has a crazy good ratio. So 5 million views, almost 400,000 likes, and only 11,000 dislikes. That's a crazy good ratio. All the comments are saying, it's crazy the guy that started this was actually the one to end it. You're very well spoken and self-aware. I think that you were hanging out with the wrong crowd. Does Gabriel Zamora still post? Oh my god, a year ago. Gabriel Zamora has not posted in a year. Oh, and Manny MUA commented on this video, so I guess they're on good terms again. All right, let's just get into it. Again, I have no idea what to expect, but I have heard what happens in this video. Okay, great. We're starting off amazing. We have a YouTuber hoodie, and we have and we also have the turning on the camera. Really great start to this YouTuber apology.
Hi everyone, I'm Gabriel Zamora.
Oh, let's turn it down. We'll do 1.25 because it's nearly 50 minutes long.
And thank you for watching. This video is definitely something I didn't think I was going to upload, if I'm being quite honest. It's something that I feel like I need to upload now because there's certain apologies.
I feel like so many YouTubers start apology videos like this where they're like, I didn't think I'd ever be sitting here making this video. Just get to it, please.
I have to give, especially on video, and there's certain things I want to further explain. I have now filmed this. This is my third time filming this. The reason why is because the first two times, I feel like I was able to vent. I was able to really just let out my emotions and say how I felt, like, and just lay it all out on the line. And they were really long videos. And I'm like, you know what? This isn't about just my emotion.
And this one isn't. We're talking about 50 minutes here. This one isn't the long ones. Thank God you didn't upload the long ones.
It's about me just talking about what happened and clarifying certain things and as to why certain things were done and kind of more of a backstory behind it. The first apology that I owe, that I definitely wanted to make sure was in this video at the very beginning, is to y'all, my audience, because I was the person that I didn't want to be, and it was being negative, being petty, and bringing negativity into a world that didn't need it. And for that, I'm truly sorry. And I know I've let y'all down because I let myself down. That's not who I should be. I started doing YouTube because I wanted to spread happiness and love and positivity and acceptance and just laughter. Like,
I feel like every fucking YouTuber says this in their apology videos where they're like, I came into this scene to spread rainbows and butterflies and la-di-da-di-da, and I became so swept up in it. I feel like they all say this, like they all have like a criteria they must hit. Gray hoodie, heavy breathing, was here for fun.
I looked at it as like, this is so much fun. It's a great escape. It kind of takes me away from any stress that I have. Or if I'm just like bored and I just want something to entertain me, like that's what I loved about YouTube. So the fact that I wasn't that, I'm truly sorry, because that's not what I should be doing. And for that, I will take full accountability, and I'm sorry. And moving forward, I don't want to be like that. And I will work my hardest to not be like that. The second apology that I owe is for an old tweet of mine that resurfaced from 2012. I don't want to give you excuses as to what my train of thought was. Just know that it was ignorant and it was stupid, and it didn't come from hate. I know a lot of people on the internet have said that I am a racist based on that tweet.
And again, that was so ironic because I'm pretty sure it was Gabriel Zamora that was like, imagine standing a racist, I could never, about Jeffree Star just for his own tweets to come out.
Ask that before you say those words, you now take time to realize what that means, because I have taken time to realize that just putting out ignorance isn't going to help a situation, because I've done that. So for that, I'm truly sorry, and I've learned from it, and I hope that my actions since then have shown y'all that I've learned from it and I've better educated myself. I want to link 2 videos down below just to further help the situation if one is still not fully cleared on it. One is just the backstory on how that word has come about and how it's...
This video is called The History of the N-Word. Where did it come from? And then we have one, Why Every Word Doesn't Belong to Everyone. Okay, you know what I will say is, obviously this is not an apology for me, but with the apology to the audience and then the apology going straight into the apology for like old tweets, I think this so far is the strongest start of any of the videos we've watched during Dramageddon, because we're cutting the bullshit and we're immediately starting with the apologies and what they're for, which we're so used to people just like dilly-dallying around the subject at hand. So I think this is probably why this is the best reacted one, like reacted to one, because we're just getting right into it. So I don't know where the other 48 minutes is going to be, like what the fuck we have to talk about for 48 minutes, but I'm sure we'll find out.
Developed over time. And a second video that I really respect is an author explaining why that word isn't for other people. And I've respected it since, but I feel like this video is very straight to that point, and it's clear and it's concise, and I totally agree with what's being said in that video. I'll link that down below, and just know that I understand that it's not my word, and I've understood it ever since I was educated back then. And I know it's not my word, and I'm truly sorry that people still use that word and think that it doesn't have certain negative connotations. And I'm sorry that I fed into that at one point in my life. I was ignorant and I was stupid, and I take full accountability. And just know that I'm sorry. I'm still sorry, and I will keep saying I'm sorry. For that, I truly am sorry. And the third apology that I do owe on camera is to Jeffree. I'm sorry just for everything, not just for the tweets, not just for the photo, just for it all, just for allowing myself to create an image of someone based on what others were telling me, and it's not fair because I wouldn't want that for me. So I want to go on camera and say that I'm truly sorry to you, Jeff.
Which is ironic because the image he created of Jeffree was the racist scenario, which ultimately Gabriel had his own racist tweets. I think the thing that really annoyed people about Gabriel was the like, imagine standing a racist, I could never, and then Gabriel also having racist tweets was kind of like that he didn't care about the racism and he cared about weaponizing that someone would be racist, which isn't actually caring whether or not someone is racist. That's the problem with it. You know what I mean?
Jeffree, because what I did wasn't intended to be bullying, but I know now that it came across like that. And I totally respect that, and I'm sorry for that. I want to talk about the tweet now, and I have certain things that I've...
Bitch is bitter because without him, we're better.
I don't want to edit this video, so I just wrote everything down in my notes of things that I want to hit on.
Oh, a good notes app.
So let me explain the photo, the tweet. So the photo context was just that, a recreation of Kylie's birthday photo. It wasn't taken in a sense to bash anyone, to try to disrespect Jeffree. It wasn't taken like that. It was just taken to be dumb and funny. I then took it upon myself the next day to tweet the photo with that text. Nobody else saw this before I tweeted it. I just tweeted it. Okay. So when I tweeted it,
okay, so confirmation that Manny and Laura didn't know that it was going to be about Jeffree. The problem is they still liked and like engaged with the tweet after the caption was posted, so they can't really play ignorance here.
just if you care to know, just a little backstory on it was I was hungover. I rarely drink, so I said, I'm going to drink this day. And I woke up hungover as hell, headache. There's no excuse. I'm just saying this is the mental space that I was in. So I was irritable. I was like just cranky. And then I'm seeing certain things online about Jeffree doing this to my friends. And I'm like, okay, I just keep hearing about this person and I keep hearing this and I keep hearing that. And I'm like, why is someone who's so successful being so petty? That was my train of thought in that moment. And I'm like, you know what? Let me be shady on the internet. I'm one of the people that will, if I'm shady, I will own it. Because just don't be shady and be like, oh no, it was an accident. No, like if you're being shady, own it. And I was being shady. I was being petty in that tweet. And I tweeted it. Nobody else knew. So I just want to go on.
But they did like it.
When did everybody else find out? Everybody else found out, well, I started to get likes and I started to get a retweet or like a response. And then Nikita calls me and she's like,
oh my God, I forgot that Nikita was in the photo as well. Nikita is so forgettable. Sorry, no shade.
Like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of this pettiness. I'm tired of this. And I explained it and she's like, okay, just so you know, it's very clear as to who you're trying to be petty towards and be like in that sense. And I'm like, okay. She's like, okay, just so you know. And I'm like, okay. So when we leave
Not Nikita Dragon warning you that you're gonna get canceled. Like that's bad. It's bad if Nikita Dragon has to step in. Like Nikita Dragon, please.
Hotel, we get into a bus to go to a pool party. And 10 minutes into the bus ride, it's brought up. So what happened on Twitter? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just tired of this person constantly doing this to y'all because I keep hearing he does this, he does that, he does this, he does that. He's such a malicious person. He's so mean, he's this. I keep hearing these things and I'm like, I'm fed up. I'm fed up. I keep absorbing all this negativity and I'm finally fed up. Like I'm over it. But
it probably was so exhausting to be in the beauty space in this time period because they probably all just obsessively talked about each other when they weren't there. So, like, if Manny was there, they would, talk shit about someone that Manny doesn't like. Or if Manny left, then they would talk shit about Manny. Or they would talk shit about Jeffree. Or if Jeffree was there, they would talk shit about James. Or James wasn't there, they would... It's exhausting. Like, I get it. It's a game. They're all being catty and all. But it genuinely probably was the most exhausting atmosphere in the entire world. But they created it themselves.
Never done anything petty to me. So I just finally had it. And it's like, okay, well, just so you know, it looks like, people are starting to like speculate as to who it is. It's pretty clear. Like, it's really clear. And I'm like, okay, and I made even more tweets that I definitely fluffed up because I was like, you know what? I want to create a narrative and it's not fair. And I now realize how that affects people because
it happened to you.
About me in this whole process. And I'm like, you know what? That wasn't.
These people only care when it happens to them.
One shouldn't be doing that. Try to make someone seem some type of way to try to get people on either your side or try to see something some certain type of way. One should never try to tell people what to think or what to see or anything. People should be able to do that themselves. So that's when they're like, okay, well, like certain hate starting to pop up. We get to the pool party. And during that bus ride, other things were being talked about.
Could you imagine going to a party with your friend and your friend has tweeted something that's going to get you in so much trouble and you're there trying to enjoy the party and you're getting so much hate online? Like, damn, we were just trying to enjoy the pool party.
And we get to the pool party and I'm still seeing tweets. I'm still seeing more and more and more things come up. And it's like becoming a lot, like even for me. Like I know I started it, so I'm gonna take full responsibility for it. But it's a lot. So during that process, Nikita comes up and she's like, hey, like, just so you know, sir, like it looks like we all did this. Like it looks like all four of us were in on this, and it looks like it's like we're bullying him. And I'm like, oh crap. And they're starting to get a bunch of hate because of my tweet. And I'm like, oh crap, like this isn't fair for me to pull someone into this. And I fully took responsibility and I apologized to my friends. I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry because I drug you into this mess and I'm bringing you into this mess. And it was like, oh no, it's fine. It's fine. We'll get through this. We're in it together.
But also they had all engaged with the tweet. This is what I don't understand. Like, again, I keep reiterating this point, but they would have doubled down on the tweet if the reaction to it was fine. But the fact that they engaged with the tweet, they got the fame from it, and then when it turned sour and Jeffree responded, they turned on Gabriel, it feels really snaky, and I'm aware that, like, none of these people were really friends in the long run, but, like, if my friend said that to me, I'd be like, fuck you! Fuck you for, like, being on board with this, even though you didn't know about it, and then you get, in trouble, and then you're gonna drop me. Like, fuck you!
It's fine. I apologized to Laura, I apologized to Manny, and I'm like, I'm sorry. And it was very much the narrative of, it's just really bad timing. So it's not fair that you try to make it seem like we hate him. It's just really bad timing because of this docuseries and everybody's on his side.
Oh, okay. So because Shane Dawson had done the series with Jeffree in which, Jeffree was really liked again because Shane had, shown this different light of him, where, Jeffree was opening up about things in his life and people were really seeing a different side of Jeffree. That was why they got annoyed at the tweet, because the public perception was on Jeffree. I mean, of course that was the reason. I said this a couple videos ago. They all agree with the video. They all hated Jeffree, but it was not great timing. Jeffree outweighed them in public support, and that's why when Jeffree came out with the racism video, he was able to just one-up them all and get all the public support and get all their fans and get the general public and the beauty, like everyone was on his side.
Well, if you feel some type of way about someone, regardless of when it is, you should still feel that kind of way. But I'm like, okay, you know what? It's true.
But they're all fake, Gabriel.
Listen and take that and allow people to speak. And if they're saying that and this is how they feel, that's fine. I then go to Laura and I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry. I don't know what to do in this situation. I want to somehow start making this better. What do you think?
This is probably the shittest pool party ever.
Deleting that photo because even I agreed, there was just a lot of accusations about her family. A lot of just false accusations about her family. And then it started to, people start saying certain things about certain people. And it was like, is this true? Wait, is this true? I was seeing those responses. And I'm like, okay, I totally agree. I'll delete it. She's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'll delete it. I'm taking full ownership. This is my fault. I know what I started. And I want to make this better. That's why I deleted that tweet. Because Laura asked me after I offered, how do I fix this? Let that be clear.
Not him throwing Laura under the bus. I love it. But also, Laura did say in her video that her family were being dragged into it, so it makes sense that she like wanted it deleted, even though she had no problem with it.
Everything was all right after that, and I took it down. Okay, cool. Then we went to another pool, and that's where we started to hang out. That's when my old tweet came up, and I voiced it to my friends. It's like, oh crap, like there's now an old tweet of mine coming up, and I'm being painted out to be as racist. And I'm like, I want to explain this because I've learned from this. And I want to apologize to anyone who's being affected. And I want to be able to explain this just a little bit further. So they were aware. I created my own apology. I wrote it down. I wanted to make sure that it was...
Please don't tell me it was a notes app.
I tweeted it. It was my truth. It was me apologizing for it, me owning up to it. I know what I did. It came from my social account. I changed it on Instagram because I was like, oh, this is inappropriate. But it had tweeted it out as well. So I'm like, okay. Just know that when you put something out on the internet, it remains on the internet. The reason a lot of people were like, you're so stupid. Why didn't you delete this? Just so you know, I've deleted that tweet twice. Not out of like, oh my God, like I don't want to ever get caught. No, because I learned from it. And I was like, oh wow, like this shouldn't be on there. Even before I started social media, I looked at all my tweets. I was like, could anything be taken as inappropriate? Because I'm not a malicious person. I've never gone out of my way to try to bash someone in a racial way or just in like a petty way in that sense. So I'm like, this tweet will haunt me. I know it will because I've tried deleting it and it won't go away. And that's fine. I'll fully own up to it. I fucked up. So everyone was like, it's fine. We'll get through this, right? Then that night I go to my hotel. I decide not to go out.
Not we'll get through this over being exposed for having racist tweets. We'll get through this together. Come on. What the fuck?
Too much. I'd rather just go to sleep. We're leaving the next day. Our car comes for us to take us to the airport at like 6 or 7 a.m. And I'm like, you know what? I should just pack, just take a shower, decompress. And I was looking at comments and I was starting to like delete stuff and block stuff because I'm like, this is becoming a lot. Like it's a lot. So then the next day we're leaving and we're traveling back. 14 minutes. Okay. I'm trying to like keep this short.
Not checking the fucking time of the video so far. I know. I wish Manny did that in my reality check video. Then we wouldn't have had to sit through the fucking boringest, not a right word, 25 minutes of my entire life.
So then we come back. We start going to the airport. I get onto the bus. I'm still not aware what's really going on with everybody else, but Nikita's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And she's like, okay. Like, there's, like, just so you know, they're starting to bring up, like, tweets on everybody. Like, they're bringing, old things of everyone up. And I'm like...
Also, speaking of Nikita, she was able to fly under the radar. No, Nikita is so problematic and had so many scandals. But Nikita stayed silent throughout all of Dramageddon 1 and therefore basically got away with it, you know, without having any, like, ramifications. So Laura made the video, the crying one. Manny made his video. Gabriel made the apologies. But Nikita just didn't address her old tweets, didn't address her involvement in things, just other problematic things that really came up. And therefore, because of that, after a few weeks, Nikita was able to just start posting again, whereas these other creators had to take like month-long breaks. So there's something to be said about that, which is like really weird that people just like forgive and forget if like they're given enough time. But I always forget that Nikita was a part of Dramageddon 1 because she stayed so silent. She stayed so silent, and therefore she was able to get off without anyone being able to be like, look how bad her apology was. Look how, you know, fake her apology was. You know why? Because she didn't fucking give you one. Like
that's not, I didn't want all this to happen, but when you put out negativity out into the world, just understand that it will give it back to you. The energy that you put out is what you receive. So I'm now trying to focus on putting positivity out, and I'm learning from that because I've always been like that, so I don't...
Rainbows and butterflies.
I allowed myself to become negative. And I'm like, okay, so we have a layover in Amsterdam, and then it's 2 hours, and I'm like filtering comments, and I'm like, this is too much, like this is a lot. Like it's now exploding, and this is before it all. And I'm like, it's becoming a lot. And I'm like, it was taking a real toll on me. And if I'm being honest, I was trying to just become numb because it was a lot. Like I didn't want to think, I didn't want to feel anything. And I've had moments of just sadness, and that just kind of like took me back. And I know that I started this, so I'm taking full accountability. But in that moment, that's just how I felt. I wasn't really talking. I wasn't trying to interact with anyone. I'm just like, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. So we then get on our flight.
Could you imagine how fucking awkward this trip must have been traveling home when all of you are being bombarded for your old problematic tweets that for some reason it took Gabriel Zamora doing a shady tweet for them to come out? Which really bothers me anyway, that they were able to live on the internet and only be deleted once Gabriel does a shady tweet towards Jeffree. Also, the full concept of people defending Jeffree by being like, he's not racist, you're racist. It's just like, this is so unproductive. We shouldn't be, you're more racist than me. No. Like, just don't, like, no one be racist. And there's no competition of who's more racist, or you're going to call Jeffree a racist, we're going to find you being racist. Like, this is so unproductive. Like,
Back to the US. Back to
it shouldn't take people caring about Jeffree Star being victimized by his friends for them to care about their favorite creators being racist. Like, what the fuck?
And I just decided to go to sleep, and I'm like, just try to sleep this off, or like try to like decompress, like go to sleep, just go to sleep. And I slept for the majority of the flight, and I wake up probably 2 hours before we land. And 15 minutes into it, my friends come up to me. And the conversation is led, and I'm going to be honest, the conversation is led by Manny. Laura chimes in every once in a while. Nikita didn't say anything. And I was
Just like what she did publicly. Look around everybody on mute.
watching it all. I'm assessing everything. I'm like, okay, like what's going on? The conversation is had of, hey, just so you know, it's becoming a lot more. And I'm like, okay. And we've been talking to our managers and our PR team, and we've just been thinking of a PR way to handle this. And I'm like, okay.
A PR way to handle it. Cut to Laura Lee's, I'm so sorry. You need to fire those PR people.
And they have recommended.
Whatever happened to just like an honest, like how you actually feel. You should feel bad that you have racist tweets. You shouldn't have to ask someone's professional advice on how to handle it. Fuck out of here.
That you take full accountability for the photo, you apologize for the photo, and you apologize to us for us not being involved. And I'm like,
That's crazy. So they approached Gabriel on the flight after they said they agreed with the tweet, but just the timing was bad. That they're coming up and saying, you need to tweet an apology for the photo and also tweet a public apology for us being in the photo. What snaky friends, considering they all agreed and they were going to work this out together.
okay, cool. I tweeted it. Let's not go online.
Whoa, that scared the shit out of me. Oh my God.
So I don't like
Time and place.
seem that I was the only one who thought this. I don't like that it was like, oh, Gabriel, you're going to take full accountability. Cool, I did tweet it, but let's not try to make it seem like other people didn't really think these things. So I'm like, okay, cool, but I will take full accountability. I will take that. I will take full accountability. So it is then, you're going to have to apologize first. This is all Manny. Laura's like chiming in, but one of the parts that kind of annoyed me was I wasn't given the respect of being looked at in the eyes while this is being had, while I'm being told what to do. So I'm like, I'm starting to see these things. I'm like, okay, read people's body language. I'm staring at him and I'm not, it's just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. You're going to have to take full accountability. Your apology is going to have to go out first. So I would start working on it. And based off of your apology, this person goes next, this person goes next, and I will be last.
Imagine strategically planning how you're going to address being racist. What world do we live in? Also, it's so funny hearing Manny act like this because I believe it. And then cut to like Manny's online persona of like glitters and rainbows. Like, these people are so fake in front of a camera. Also, it's so disrespectful how they're talking to Gabriel right now. You're all fucked up. You all agreed that you fucked up.
And we'll all gauge kind of like what the other one needs to fix. And I'm like, okay, if you're sorry.
Wait, so Manny said that Gabriel goes first, then the two girls go next, and then Manny will go last, so he can gauge the reaction and tweak it. Therefore, Manny MUA just said that he wants other people to apologize, and then he's going to basically see what the critiques of those apologies is, and then he'll do the most perfect apology. That's why I think Manny MUA's video was bullshit.
sorry, you're sorry. Just put it out there. I don't understand why it has to be like this, and this. No, like why are we?
If you're sorry, just apologize. It doesn't have to have a chain reaction.
For success. If you're sorry, just apologize and be sorry. So I'm like, okay, cool. It sucks because I felt like it was like, okay, like cool, like I'll take full accountability and I guess I'll be the person who hates him online. And I'm the only one who thinks this. That's fine. I know, and these are my friends, and you need to do right by them. So when I start heading home from the airport, I get nauseous in the back seat on my phone for too long. I'm already nervous. I'm anxious. It's a lot. I don't even want to look at my phone. I want to look straight forward, and I just want to not throw up in this situation. And I get a text message from Manny, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? I just see it, and I'm like, I can't even respond. Like, it's a lot. So I'm like sitting there. It's like a 45-minute drive. Almost by the end of it, I get a text message of, hey, we really need you to put out this apology because it's a storm for everybody else, Gabby. And I'm like, wait, didn't you just text me wondering how I am? You don't hear from me? And then it's, hey, cool, okay, interesting. I'm not texting you back because your headspace wasn't to see if I was good. It was to see, when am I putting this out? Cool. So I come home and I write my own apology. I wrote my own apology, just so y'all know. I wrote it.
Oh shit, he's basically implying here that they didn't even write their own apologies. Now again, if Laura Lee had PR involved in her crying video, what the hell? This is such an irritating situation because it's like just passing full blame, but also it really begs the questions of influencers apologizing that it is this strategic, like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, there was a revision so I wouldn't mess up, but the only thing that was added was me attacking somebody else that didn't deserve it, who was part of the Ipsy community. That person definitely didn't need for me to attack them the way that I did. I was angry and she just stated an opinion. It was a little bit sassy, but it was her truth. And I respect it. But in that moment, I attacked. I didn't care. I just attacked. And she did deserve an apology. And I was like, you know what? That's true. All the other apologies, apologizing to NARS, apologizing to Ipsy, apologizing to my friends, apologizing to y'all, to my community, to the beauty community, was me writing that out. So
it's the bare minimum, so I'm not going to praise him for that, but
Laura put out her apology first because she didn't want to wait. She wanted to apologize, and I respected that. Then I even had called her and was like, hey, like, I don't know, like, should I be doing a video? Should I be putting text out? I don't know what to do. And it's like, an apology is an apology.
And then y'all settled on the Notes app? Revolutionary.
You don't feel like you have to do something so that people can understand it. An apology is an apology. As long as you're apologizing and you're sincere about it, it's an apology. And I'm like, okay. And I cried and I was like, I fucked up. Like, I caused this for you as well. I caused this for me. And we cried. And I put out my apology, and I went to sleep. That is everything with that, with the photo and my apology. What happened next was where I got upset that I was being painted in a different type of way. So first, Manny's apology wasn't an apology because there wasn't an I'm sorry in there. His initial quote tweet of mine. I wake up that Tuesday, and I get a notification that he had quote tweeted me, and I'm like, wait, what? Okay, let me go to it. Thank you for owning up to it and all these things. I'm like, excuse me? So
I haven't seen any of these tweets, but it really is crazy if Manny then took like a higher approach of like, I'm so proud of Gabriel for admitting his wrongs. Motherfucker, you have them too. And you also agreed with the tweet and you liked the tweet.
Wait, am I crazy? Thank you, Gabby, for speaking up. We took that photo with the intent of recreating Kylie's 21st birthday picture with her sisters. True. The reason I liked it was because it was a photo of the four of us being silly the night before. I didn't read the caption as I had been running around. He was in his hotel, just so you know, when he was liking and responded to it. Maybe he was running around his hotel room. That might be the case. But you can't tell me that you didn't see you didn't read that tweet.
Also, with the way the beauty space on Twitter was at this time, everyone was tweeting that it was about Jeffree before Manny liked it, even though they already knew it. So that's bullshit. And also, Manny said that it was just the timing was the wrong.
Photo of us four. You're just gonna like something and respond to it? No. That's not what we're gonna do. And then once I was notified about the caption from you all, I removed my like and asked Gabby to take it down as the photo was supposed to be a fun recreation and nothing more. I wasn't asked by him to take it down. When I said earlier, I asked Laura, how would you like me to better these things? That's why I took it down. Let that be clear. So that's why I'm like, why are you now creating this narrative?
Not Manny MUA being the devil in this.
If we're keeping it 100, let's keep it 100. You feel these things. Let's keep it 100. You feel these things. Somebody else does too. Okay? Other people do too.
I think this boils down to Manny talking shit about Jeffree behind the scenes, but being scared of Jeffree. So Manny never wanted it out there that he would ever associate, with people that would talk shit about Jeffree or whatever, because he's scared of them, or scared of Jeffree, even though he does it. It's so fake. It's so fake.
Like, oh no, like no. You feel that. So let's not paint it out to be like, I'm the one. Cool. No. Okay, cool. I'm getting emotional, right? So when I read that, I'm like, messy can never help themselves. When you're messy, you remain messy. So not only are you being messy in your quote tweet, let me go look at what you've been liking and what you've been responding to. So why am I seeing, of course you did read the caption. It was all fun and games until it backfired on the four of you. It absolutely was not at all. It was childish, and I'm too grown for that, honestly. You're too grown. Too grown for what? You constantly talk about him. You constantly say all these things. You constantly use people. Let's look at track records. I don't have bad blood with anybody. Maybe there's one person that and me and her have an understanding of.
Oh my goodness.
Keep it respectful. That's it. She's not in this community.
But also, Gabriel said that he tweeted it because he kept hearing things about Jeffree and was so over it. Who to hear them from? His friend group.
So why are you the one who constantly keeps burning bridges and using people, but you're too grown? No, you can't. You say worse. Let's keep it 100. You said worse. So my tweet that kind of set it all off was, oh my God. No, Manny, stay out of it. And think about who your friends are. He drug you down, did a half-assed apology, and no one is fine. Trust me, it's been an eye-opening 24 hours is his response. I looked at other tweets he was liking. I wouldn't stay friends with someone that put me in a bad position and created all this drama. Why are you liking this? Yeah, I may have started.
God, Manny MUA probably wishes that Twitter is how it is now with the fact you can't see people's likes. God, that's probably erased so many possible dramas. God, if you couldn't see people's likes back years ago in the drama space, there would be so much less drama. But Manny liking all these tweets dunking on Gabriel is it's such an easy way out, but it's such a nasty way of throwing your friends under the bus when you are the one that was the problem.
This, but let's not act like you don't feel like this. If not worse, because I've heard you say worse. Because at 26 minutes, my camera shuts off. At 30 minutes, I'm just checking. So I'm like, interesting. Let me go look at if anybody else is being shady right now. I go look at Nikita. No. Because
Nikita went mute the entire time.
Friends don't throw other friends under the bus, even by throwing that kind of underlying shade. There's multiple tweets that he liked, so I was like, cool. So then Laura's responding to people. Me, Manny, and Nikita didn't have any part in the tweet Gabriel posted. We asked him to take it down, and he did. What do you mean we? I asked you, how do I better this? And you said, can you take that tweet down? And I said, yes. Let's not act like I was told to do anything. Let's not act like that. Then she says, I did not ever like or comment the photo. Manny did, without reading the caption, and within a few seconds, he removed his comment and like. Okay, so you're defending someone, and let's keep that clear. She did defend him, and she didn't have to say, Manny did, but he took it down, just so you're aware. Since your apology has gone out, where is he on this? Because that's your best friend. Okay, cool. So I'm looking at all these tweets, and I'm like, wow, really? Okay, we're gonna play this narrative? Cool, if y'all are out for yourself, and you're thinking, how do I better this for myself? Let me save face for myself.
I think that literally is just what this boils down to. They were all just trying to save face, but the easiest way to do that was to throw all blame onto Gabriel. But again, we're very aware that this is much bigger than just Gabriel Zamora, even though Gabriel was a big problem in this.
You're probably thinking, well, Gabriel, you're probably reading into it. Maybe they didn't see those tweets, or maybe they didn't fully read, or maybe they're just kind of it's too much for them. Just so you know, I know these people a lot better than a lot of you do. Let's keep it 100. In the sense of, I see how they move. Maybe I don't know what they did on their 4th birthday. Maybe I don't know everything about their family. Maybe I don't know certain things. But when I see them move, I am aware of what kind of person they are. And to hear them constantly complain of, well, this person liked this tweet and it was shady about me. Oh. Constantly. They've been aware for years that liking shady is obvious. That responding something.
I'm loving him using their own morals against them right here.
And it's obvious. These are my friends. I saw them.
I kind of appreciate this video from Gabriel because he started off with immediate apologies and now he's spending the rest of the video basically talking shit and exposing people, and I kind of like that.
I see how they move. So it's not me just misinterpreting things, overreading things. No, because there was a lot of people online saying, wait, what, did y'all just throw him under the bus? Wait, didn't y'all also have a falling out with him? why is Gabriel?
And they just got back from their pool party trip.
So I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. I am feeling these things with some reason. Oh, it's at 20 minutes. Let me know. So then I had to think, you have to now, not in a sense worry about yourself, but realize what it is you want to do. What feels right for you. No longer, okay, let me not like certain things. Let me not do certain things. Let me remain hush hush so it doesn't add to the fire. Let me not add fuel to the fire. So now I'm like, you know what? I wanted to apologize to Jeffree. That is an apology I wanted to create, to give. And I literally, once I realized these things, I'm like, you know what? You should be apologizing to him. Even if you've been kind of made out to feel like you shouldn't, or that isn't your friend, or this isn't a good person, you should apologize to this person because you did attack them online. You should apologize to them personally first. So I wrote out a text, an apology, and it was a long one. And
Again, this is weirdly showing more morals from Gabriel Zamora, because in Manny MUA's video that came out after this video, Manny apologizes publicly to Jeffree but says that he hasn't reached out to him privately. Gabriel, on the other hand, has done what someone who actually is sorry would do, privately then publicly. Not the other way about, or not just not doing it privately and just doing it publicly. That's performative.
I went through and I got a response back. My number wasn't blocked. So there was a conversation had, we spoke on the phone, and I apologized for everything, just allowing myself to create an image of someone in my head in a negative light based on what I was being fed, because it wasn't fair for me to do that to anyone, to hear all these things about someone and never have experienced them myself, but still think these things about that person. So I'm like, I'm sorry for that. I'm just sorry for a lot of things. A lot of clarity came from that conversation. A lot of things made a lot more sense once I heard the other side of the story. I thought my friends are gonna tell me.
It's also important to note that while he's speaking so highly of Jeffree right now, if this was like today, like this wouldn't be liked by the general public, but this was really liked that he did this and spoke so highly of Jeffree because the Shane series was making him really likable. So it was really smart to kind of do this and detaching yourself away from like Manny, Laura, and Nikita, and being like, I actually apologize to Jeffree and we had a great conversation, and hearing his point of view, I love him.
The truth. That's not always the case. So when he explained situations that I thought, why is he being irrationally angry? It made sense why he was mad in this situation and this situation. It made a lot more sense that I'm like, am I being lied to? Why? Okay, cool. So I then tell him, I'm like, I personally would love to apologize online publicly to you. I'm not gonna say I spoke to you. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna tell anyone. I would just like to do that to you.
It's a very good way of handling it. I'll give credit.
I totally respect it. Thank you for that. So when I created my apology, it took me 24 hours. I wanted to sleep on it. I still wanted to apologize to him publicly, but I wanted it all to kind of process it. What do you want to do next, Gabriel? When I woke up, I was like, you know what? There's a certain individual that I do need to cut out of my life because it's always just been toxic. A lot of the negativity around you and around your friends has been due to this one person. There's the same factor in all these negative situations around your life because I've had a lot of friends.
Is he throwing Manny under the bus?
Things going on, and that seems to be the remaining factor, and that's Manny. You know what? You're not that cool with this person. If I'm keeping it 100 with y'all, that friendship was this weird narrative of after he's had all these falling outs, and so has she, Laura, we don't really have friends. Let's just all constantly hang out. And I'm thinking, oh my God, my friends want to constantly hang out. Like, this is so cool. Like, they're some of the top people in the beauty industry.
Wait, that's such a good way of putting it, that Manny and Laura had falling out with so many people, and they were therefore looked at, this like loser friend group that had no one, but Gabriel thought that they were just like friends, but obviously they just had no one else. Oh, I did not know that he threw Manny under the bus like this, but Manny threw him under the bus, so two can play that game. I respect it.
Inside perspective from somebody else, and these are also people who understand it. I'm growing and I'm new to this, so it's cool to just hear like inside tips and tricks. Like Laura has helped me so much with my YouTube channel and my social media in general, just giving me advice, giving me tips, she's like, my home is yours, whatever you want to do. Do you want to film it? Like, what do you, like anything. So that's, her and Nikita have been the only ones that have really helped me. I'm not saying Manny didn't, but he gave me a link to where I could get Final Cut Pro, like text and stuff. Cool. There's been always like hey, you should be posting more. And I'm like, okay. Like, I do want to post more. But I've always been, I'm not consistent when it comes to posting, but I'd rather post something that I love as opposed to me thinking I have to post. And I feel like that's where I was going crazy. Me personally, I'm not saying it was because of anybody else. Because I was like, I'm going crazy. I feel like I have to post like 2 to 3 times a week on YouTube and like every single day on Instagram and this and that. I have to post a particular time because this is what I'm hearing constantly. No, I don't. And that's why I was going crazy. That's the only thing he's really helped me with. So
I also do believe him in everything he's saying about Manny. And also, again, to clarify, in my reality check, Manny agrees that he is like this, which I guess was the only thing he could have done, because the reaction to this video is great. And if Manny had came out on the defense, it would not have gone down well, and I don't think Manny would have much of a career left, if any, today. Not saying he does right now. I've seen the podcast views.
Really? And he doesn't know anything about me, but he's constantly hanging out with other people and having these close moments, but I don't get a hangout. I don't get a phone call. I don't get nothing. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is a person you need to cut out of your life. You've been wanting to cut them out ever since he threw Laura under the bus. When Laura and Jeffree had that falling out, he threw her under the bus. Let's keep it 100. Why is it that 2 people who were in the wrong with him, only one gets out alive? Behind the scenes, if I'm keeping it 100, I was done with him. I was like, are you serious? I see my friend and she is hurt. She is distraught. I'm getting emotional. I wanted to cut him off. It hurt because I felt like in that situation, I was backing up a friend that I felt was hurt. And then that friend then turns around and is buddy-buddy, and then I get pushed aside. And I'm like, wait, I thought you were hurt. And that's why I was hurt as well. And then I was hurt that I was being kind of like pushed aside. And I'm like, what? Okay, cool. You can't be mad at someone's situation if they're not mad themselves. And that took time during that situation for me to process. But I'm like, okay, cool. We tried to better that situation. It was talked over between me and Laura. But during that time, I did get...
God, it's really crazy to me. I mean, I don't know what their standing is now, considering that Gabriel's last video... Did he get his lip filler dissolved?
Timer?
I don't know if he did, but his lip filler looks so much better now. Well, anyway, moving on. That Manny had commented on this video a year ago. So I wonder what their standing is now, but also that Manny and Laura have their fucking podcast. Like, they really do only have each other.
An apology from Manny. I'm so sorry that it just looks like this and I've hurt y'all and I've hurt my friend. Cool, if you didn't throw her under the bus, why are you apologizing? Interesting. So when I wake up that day and I tweet out, I'm sorry, Jeffree Star, I go to his tweet, I copy and I paste what I also relate to. It has been an eye-opening 24 hours. Because when he tweeted that, the 24 hours that he was referring to was the flight and certain people's situations being come up, like his insensitive Snapchat. So, okay, cool. For me, I saw myself get thrown under. My narrative is being painted out as differently. I have apologized to someone that I needed to, and they have cleared up so much more for me. So the next day, I'm like, it has been an eye-opening 24 hours. I wanted that shade. You know why? Because
that is crazy shade to throw that back in Manny's face, though. I'm going to say, I got to appreciate some of the pettiness from Gabriel.
Y'all see it. You see the shade. I've always been told you can manipulate the audience to think what you want them to think. Oh my God, this video is so long. You can paint it out to be some type of way. Cool. I want it to be done. I tweeted out. He's trying to contact me. I'm not responding. I'm like, I'm out. It felt good. It sounds dark.
And so then that's whenever like Manny would try crawl back, because the person that he was throwing under the bus then threw him under the bus. But because people then knew that Manny was throwing him under the bus, it was more beneficial that Manny was then being thrown under the bus. If that makes sense. I feel like I just said a bunch of words. I'm filming this at 3:28 in the morning.
It felt good to just cut someone off like that. I thought that cutting off a friend would be bad, but it felt good. And I didn't understand why. But further realizing it, it's like, that was a toxic person in your life. You shouldn't have been friends with this person. You shouldn't have been hanging out with this person, to be quite honest, because you don't really need each other like that. If I'm keeping it 100, we didn't. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then I unfollow him. Of course, he freaks out because people are now catching on to it. And he then sends me a voice memo that he's outside my building. And it's like, hey, I'm outside your building.
What?
You can't come into my building unless I allow you and you're on a list. So of course he's not being let in. So I get a voice memo, hey, I'm outside your building. I don't know why I'm here. I just wanted to talk to you face to face. I know you must be going through...
You must be going through a lot. That's when they start to care, when the perception turns against them. Oh my God, Manny, this is not good.
We're all going through a lot. What do you mean we're all going through a lot? What are we all going through? Because it looked like I was the only one going through it. Yeah, certain people were going through things as well, but I didn't tweet other people's things. My photo, I have now taken full accountability for. That tweet I've taken full accountability for. I have apologized to y'all publicly. What do you mean we at this point? Because y'all are liking shady things.
It's like trying to like bring you all into like the same level of relatability on a situation so that then you can help him.
We. And then he apologizes for liking and responding to things that he misinterpreted. I'm tired of this. I misinterpreted this. Oh, I'm so sorry because of this. Oh, I'm so sorry, but it's because of this. No, if you're sorry, you're sorry. Just keep it 100. Keep it 100 with me, and I will respect you. Yeah, even if you were like, hey, I did like some shady tweets about you. I'm kind of upset with you because you started that you shouldn't have. But even though we all feel like this, I was upset and I like these tweets and I shouldn't have. I'm sorry for that. I would have respected that because, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, he shaded me, but he is keeping it 100. No, don't say you didn't reach. Don't say these things when I know how.
I think there's something really irritating about people playing dumb as well, specifically if they were or are your friends.
You move.
We're in this together. Don't play dumb with me.
So I don't respond. Since then, I tweeted that and I gave the respect of not doing anything more, not liking anything more, not tweeting anything, not doing anything, right?
God, Jeffree must have been loving this. The Shane doc and then all the old friends getting exposed. You know he was happy.
Backing up, because what I did wrong, everything
He was cracking open that Red Bull with a straw and celebrating.
Right? I'm contemplating a video, apologizing to my audience, and just that. Just apologizing. Maybe like still taking blame for that photo and not really going into depth like I'm going in now. But to see someone go online and apologize to someone rightfully deserved. He did deserve to apologize to that little girl. But you're not going to talk about anything else? You're not going to apologize to someone that has helped you get to where you are? Even though you've played he offered it. He didn't do things for me. He didn't have to offer these things. This is someone who's already so successful, and you're freaking out because you're like, I don't know where to go, and I don't know what manufacturer to use, and blah, 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 this, blah, blah, blah. And your friend is like, well, I mean, I can put in a good word for you in my place, and I can give you these contacts. Don't act like this person didn't do nothing for you, okay? Because even though I, during that time, wasn't the biggest fan of Jeffree, I always respected.
Oh, I was wondering who we were talking about. It's so confusing.
Don't waste all your money. That's going to be one of the biggest mistakes that you do coming into it, if I can give you any advice. I did that, and I blew through my money, and I wasn't saving anything. And it's true. I was, in the beginning, starting to blow money. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, that's true. I should be saving money. So I always respected that. And I respected certain things and certain critiques and certain advice he would give me. And I would say that and be like, he's a smart businessman. Maybe I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he's a smart businessman. I would say that. But don't go online and not apologize to the person who's helped you the most. The most. Because a lot of people have helped you.
God, it's crazy that at one time Jeffree was helping Manny with merchandise and also helping James Charles with merchandise. What a bizarre... God, the like villain or the heroification of Jeffree Star in this video is crazy though. God, this would not pass nowadays, wouldn't it? That's just...
And I will always say who's helped me. I'm not going to say it right here, but you can go to my previous videos. You can go to interviews that I've done, and I give credit where credit is due. I'm not here today off of my own blood, sweat, and tears. So many people have helped me get to where I am, and I give credit. So don't go online and give that type of video. Because, yeah, that girl deserved to be apologized to. But then you're going to apologize for an insensitive Snapchat that was brought up during this, and you're going to mention his name in the video and not apologize to him? Cool. But when Laura's apology came out, and she was dragged through the dirt, dragged through the mud, because you got a lot of hate for not responding to that, and she made sure to include it in hers. You weren't anywhere to defend your friend. But there's a tweet of her defending.
God, isn't it crazy again that in all of this, where's Nikita Dragon? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found.
At one point, there's your best friends. Trust me, that when someone with my friends, as y'all have seen, I go up to bat.
But also this started because Gabriel was so annoyed at hearing things about Jeffree because of his friends, opinions of Jeffree. So I believe him.
But when I saw nobody was going up to bat for me publicly, even though I had one friend in that group, help me behind the scenes, be like, hey, you did this tweet and it's bullying, but I'm here for you and I want to make sure that you're good. I had that one friend. Only one friend was aware that I have never dealt with this. This is a lot.
I guess we're talking about Nikita here.
And that person's checking out on me because that's ride or die. So when you don't defend your friend online, even though you probably did the worst, to be quite honest, because you sucked that friendship dry and then you try to get out safe. But this person, I remember, got the biggest hit. So when he attacked her and you got out safe, whose house did you go to right after that to go apologize to? Let's keep it 100. I'm tired of this narrative being put out that someone is so sweet and someone is so good when behind the scenes I know so much more. And I'm going crazy. This image is being painted out and it's being well received as, you're good. No, your friend was just drugged to the dirt. I know for a fact that Laura isn't a malicious person. Does she do stupid
She's just a stupid one.
But I personally, in my experience with Laura, know that she's not a malicious person. But I'm not going to go up to defend her because I didn't get no defense. You were liking shady things. I'm not defending you at this point. But your best friend isn't going to defend you and is going to allow all this while you get the biggest hit and you're losing the most? When in actuality, you didn't do as much as he did? Cool. It's been an eye-opening experience, if I'm being quite honest. This is a long video and I'm sorry it's this long, but it's my truth. And I know I'm venting a lot and I want to just wrap it up at this point. I don't want you to convince you on anything. Don't let me tell you how to feel.
Okay, I want to read this. There's been a lot going on recently, and I want to sit down and talk to you about what my truth is. I want to apologize to y'all on camera, as well as clear up some things that are going on, because I've taken time to reflect, and during that time, a lot of assumptions have been made. Please note that these are my feelings and what I've experienced, but don't let this video be the final say on anything, because I say it's my truth, but other people are allowed to, have actions or whatever. I'll be taking some time after I post this to come back and be better. Everyone's saying that they think this video is really honest. One of the most mature apologies. Interesting.
Don't let me tell you what to see. Allow others to...
Is this one of the first times a YouTuber's done an apology and not gotten dragged for it?
Look at it all.
Bravo.
And really realize who these people are.
But it's because he's throwing Manny under the bus. People love that.
I try to keep it 100.
I love it.
And I allowed myself to not. I made myself seem like I was best friends and all this, and I did hate this person as well. No, I'm sorry for that. To myself and to y'all, because it's a lot, dude. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to just process in. I hope that this video put some clarity as to me and my truth and my experience. I know I vented a lot, and I'm sorry for that. It's just built up. And don't forgive me because I'm asking you, but just look at me moving forward. And maybe you need a break from me, and that's fine. But if in a month, in 2, in 6, in a year, you come back and check on me, I hope that my actions have proven that I've grown from this and I've learned from this. And that's all I can ask for. If you no longer want to be a fan of me or be part of my social family, I completely understand that because I let myself down. So I know I let a lot of people down because I saw those comments of, I always thought you weren't going to be petty or dramatic or problematic. That's one of the reasons why I was being so nervous and scared about this video. It's not because I was scared of anyone. It was because I was scared of looking as problematic when I didn't want to be like that. But all these things are going on online, and it all started from that one tweet. And I want to now clarify a little more from my side because there's a lot of assumptions out there as to, oh, he probably did this, or they were all in cahoots with that tweet, or this and that. No, I want to clear a lot of things up, and I want to apologize to y'all because I was petty and I was negative and I allowed myself to be there. And I'm sorry for that. It's a lot. I'm still going to take more time to just allow this to fully process in because I feel like I can't just click a switch in my head and be done with things.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave it there. It's basically just him ending off the video. And again, the comments on this, the likes, the everything, this was really one of the best responded to apologies. And I think the reason for that is he got the apologies out really quick, which is very important. I don't want to waste any time. Most people aren't going to watch this entire video. We did. Hey. But you need to get it out there so people know what they're clicking on. They're going to hear it. And also, I think he gave a lot of context. I think he described it very well. And I think the picture that he painted of Manny was something that people thought for a long time. And I think that's why. I'm surprised by this video. I liked it, enjoyed it a lot more than what I thought I was going to. And I'm also surprised by the overwhelming reaction he got here. It's very interesting he doesn't make YouTube videos anymore. Anyways, we have finished Dramageddon 1. We have now completed both Dramageddons. So if you ever need to revisit anything, you know where to find them. I appreciate you being here. This has been so much fun. I will see you in my next one, and goodbye.